Bombshells are being dropped. They're subpoenaing bank records, and Texas is starting their own digital gold backed currency. Man, they couldn't make my job any easier. Buckle up.
I ain't gonna give in now. I think I gotta live this now. I be gonna be when I'ma kill this stuff real quick. I'ma go take it to town, cause I gotta be that king in the ring when I'm knocking them out when I'm back with the will. I am just off on the journey. Just know that I'm just going insane.
Warriors, rise. Grand rising. Good evening, warriors all over the world. Want to start out with an attitude of gratitude, and I love you. I want to let you know it's going to be okay. Welcome to the Coliseum. They're making our jobs very, very easy as content creators, YouTubers, sharing information from a macro and microeconomic level. Bank records are being subpoenaed right now. I'm going to show you that video. Texas is working to create their own gold backed digital currency. Florida is working to break away. Florida, Texas, this is the wild, wild west right now. So we're going to break this down, some facts, figures, numbers, logic. At the end of this video, if you feel confused or you feel lost, I'm going to share with you. I've helped over 6,000 warriors through my revolutionary 120-day challenge to help you get your shit together. So if you're interested, stay till the end of the video and I'll show you how we supported 6,000 warriors since 2020. Let's dive right into it. My gosh, I mean, it's wild what's happening right now. You almost can't make this stuff up. This stuff is going to be written in history books. So yesterday, breaking news, big banks slapped with subpoena in Biden family business probe. So we had Trump arrested and indicted for the Stormy Daniels records in 2016. And now we have banks being subpoenaed. It's like this battle in between two high school boys. I don't even know what to think of this. But what I do know, here's what I know based on historical facts and historical cycles. When they tell us to look this way, there's a whole nother narrative going on this way. So I don't get freaked out by this stuff. This is not fear tactics. These are facts, figures, numbers, logic, and things that have happened in human history over and over again. They always put us in the Coliseum as the Trojan horse comes in. So we're going to watch this short video, the beginning of it, and then we're going to dive into a video from Ron DeSantis unveiling the plan for Florida around avoiding a central bank digital currency. And then I'm going to show you the documents where Texas is working to create a digital gold-backed currency. This is getting fun. This is getting exciting. And it's the greatest time in human history to build wealth for your family. So let's dive right into this first video here.
Well, the House Oversight Committee sending subpoenas to Bank of America, JP Morgan Chase, HSBC, and Cathay Bank. Regulators want financial records belonging to the Biden family and their business associates. Chairman of the committee, James Comer, accused.
And one thing I want to share with you, let's see how quickly this gets pushed under the rug. Remember, they went after JP Morgan for the Epstein files. Did you hear a lot about that? Nope, but you hear all about, and I'm not picking left and right. I'm just sharing you with you agendas here. You hear all about Trump being indicted all over the media. But when they subpoena JP Morgan for Epstein files, boom, gone, right? So this is happening right now. Let's see how much media coverage this gets.
Accusing ranking member Raskin of leaking the news, telling Fox News Raskin wants to, quote, thwart cooperation from other witnesses. Joining me right now is South Carolina Congressman, member of the House Judiciary and Oversight Committees, and the president of the GOP freshman class, Russell Fry, is here. Congressman, it's good to see you. Thanks very much for being here. James Comer has been on this program a lot, talking about these bank records. What are the Democrats doing? Tell me about Jamie Raskin leaking this information, and do you think you'll get the records?
Well, Maria, thank you for having me. This reminds me, in law school, we learned about if the facts aren't on your side, argue the law. If the law is not on your side, argue the facts. If neither is on your side, you pound the table. And this seems to be what House Democrats are doing. They recognize the problem. They recognize for 2 years they haven't done any investigations into this, into whether there's collusion, whether there's influence peddling going on with the Biden family. So now they're pounding the table in an effort to really thwart this committee's investigations. I think, ultimately, we're going to get to the bottom of this. Obviously, we have the suspicious activity reports that we received just a few weeks ago, and now we're going after the actual bank records to show the transactions. And what's alarming to me, and I think alarming to the American people, is that you continue to see our worst fears come true, that there is a middleman, Mr. Walker, who received $3 million, and then through a series of transactions, that money is pumped out to various members of.
Is this ironic that the Stormy Daniels thing is happening with Trump a couple weeks ago, and it's been all over the news, and this is sliding in here? Did they know this was coming? Maybe that, I don't know. It's so interesting, but as all this bullshit is happening, your financial system is collapsing. As all this bullshit is happening, your pensions are at risk. As all this bullshit and they're playing games, your 401k is at risk. As all this bullshit is happening, your job is at risk. Think about that. So you got to start standing up for yourself, warriors. You got to start understanding this game. This is the clown shit that's happening in our economy. This is what our leaders are doing, right? Both of them. This is what our leaders are doing. And we're sitting back trying to survive and trying to feed our families.
The Biden family. And so these records are going to be really crucial to our investigations.
So Rob Walker receives a $3 million wire from Chinese partners and then the next day distributes much of it to the Biden family members. What specifically was China paying for? What was that $3 million check for?
Well, that's what we all have questions for. I think the American people have those same questions, Maria. You look at this and it's suspicious. If it's legitimate, why wasn't it paid directly to the Biden family members themselves? What did Haley Biden or Hunter Biden or even Beau Biden have anything to do with this Chinese company? It just looks suspicious. It doesn't pass the smell test in my mind at all. And so these bank records are really going to be crucial, I think, to showing what types of transactions occurred.
This goes back into a video I did 2 years ago where I was saying that power was being handed over to China. I don't know what's going on, family, but we do know there's a shift in power. We know there's a shift in an economic economy, right? If that's even the right word, a microeconomic economy. There's a shift in the dollar dominance. This is happening right now, warriors, and this is your retirement. And so we got Ron DeSantis out in Florida, and this is his thing slamming the central bank digital currencies. So he's fighting back against central bank digital currencies. And I'm going to show you what Texas is doing.
A number of people today for today's announcement. First, Taryn Bragdon. He's the founder and CEO of the Foundation for Government Accountability based in Naples. John Rothel, Senior Director of Government Affairs for Florida at the League of Southeastern Credit Unions. And Dr. Pete Wyndham, a dentist here from Panama City. So if you look at what's happening with our economy, we had starting in 2020, massive fiscal stimulus, and that ended up being trillions and trillions of dollars over a couple years. The Fed reduced interest rates to basically zero, pumped a lot of money into the economy, and that led to inflation. And I think almost anyone who was looking at what was going on over the last many years would have said that inflation was the likely result of those policies. Now, the Fed itself, when it was clear that we were seeing an inflationary upturn, said that it was transitory, that this was something that would just work itself out. And so they did not act when they should have.
Now, remember what Rosie Rios says. She was told in 2012 to reduce coin and cash. She couldn't do it because GDP growth was so strong. Now, why was GDP growth so strong? Because interest rates were very low and they were printing money. So money to borrow was very cheap. So if you made $100,000, you could borrow $100,000. Now your income is $200,000. That's put into the system when money is cheap. Money is flowing like water. So she couldn't reduce coin and cash because of GDP growth. There's a direct correlation to that. She said you need a shock to the system to move consumer behaviors. As DeSantis is saying here, we had a shock to the system in 2020 where they turned the printing machine on full blast and then they shut it down. And now here's the result. Pensions are at risk. 401ks are at risk. We have a switching monetary system. The dollar, everybody's de-dollarizing as Biden is giving money to China. And there's something going on here, family.
they got behind the curve. And so as inflation continued to spike and continue to be a huge problem for our economy, they responded by hiking rates very, very rapidly, very, very quickly. That's done a lot of things to hurt a lot of people, but it has put a lot of pressure on the banking sector in particular. And so we had recently this issue with the Silicon Valley Bank, which was bailed out. I mean, this is a bank that had invested in a lot of long-term bonds that were no longer profitable because the interest rates have gone up. They also did things like focused a lot on ESG and DEI and didn't do appropriate risk management. So they ended up being a situation where they were insolvent. And so the Fed, because this is a bank that is very politically connected with people in Silicon Valley, the Fed and the Treasury Department bailed it out. Now, they try to say it's not a bailout because they say it's going to be paid for by.
This is really, really important. So let's pause for just a moment. I talked to you guys about the inversion yield, right? So what happened was, what he's saying in simplistic terms is the reason why Silicon Valley Bank failed, because the Feds pumped rates really, really fast. The Silicon Valley Bank and a lot of banks and a lot of companies have 10-year treasury bonds, right? That's a loan to the government at a higher yield. When you jack up interest rates really fast, the lower term treasury bonds are more attractive, which sucks the value out of the 10-year treasury bonds, which reduce their balance sheet, will put them at risk. It caused a contagion. Contagion was pulled out by us, the liquidity, because of a Twitter post. 160 billion was liquidated overnight, which caused Circle to announce that they had 8% exposure, which depegged a stable coin. And as he's saying, the reason why the Fed stepped in to bail them out is because they have political connections. As we see, China is connected to Biden. It's just like, come on, guys. I mean, if you can't see what's happening, this is your money.
By banking fees, but who pays the banking fees? Customers. So you're going to pay more for fees to do banking.
Okay, so this is what I've been telling you guys. Bank make money in 3 ways. So the Feds told us that we're not going to pay for this bailout because they're not going to put it on taxpayers. But as he said, they're going to pay it through fees. But I told you guys, bank make money in 3 ways: fee income, interest income, and capital markets income. The capital markets are about to get destroyed. It's the stock market, the trading, stuff like that. Interest income is getting destroyed. It's too expensive to borrow. The normal everyday American can't borrow anymore. So fee income, money moving at the speed of light, 24/7, 7 days a week, FedNow services. If they can move money at the speed of light, they charge you for the services, and then you pay for the bailout. We always end up with the check, always.
In order to give the Silicon Valley people a bailout. There was not a systemic risk to the economy from this one bank, but they were politically connected. And here's the thing: when you engage in those types of policies, like we've seen over many years, someone is going to have to pay the bill. Ultimately, the bill comes due. And so what they've now done in the last couple of weeks is they've printed another $300 billion and injecting that into the economy. Now, the problem with that is they spent the last year trying to take money out of the economy with their raising interest rates very rapidly. And so just what they've done since you've seen the hiccups in the banking is they've wiped out half of the reduction in the money supply that they had worked for the last year to achieve, all to be able to benefit some of these politically connected banks. And so what they're doing is they're, quote, fighting inflation and managing the economy in ways that make it more difficult for you, for average people, but are shielding the banks from the pain associated with the policies. And my question is, are you interested in giving these economic central planners more power over our economy, more power over your daily life and your economic activity? And I answer that question, HE double hockey sticks. No, we can't.
So hell no, that's what he's saying. But here's what's happening: facts, figures, numbers, logic. So he talks about, well, you can go watch the video. He talks about this, the facts, what Biden's policies. This was the fact sheet, came out September 16, 2022, as they tell you cryptocurrency is a fraud. And I'm not saying it's cryptocurrency, it's real-time payments, on-demand liquidity, right? So it's promoting safe access to affordable financial services. Today, traditional finances leaves too many behind. Roughly 7 million Americans have no bank account. Another 24 million rely on costly non-bank services like check cashing and money orders for everyday needs. And for those who do use banks, paying traditional financial instruments can be costly and slow, particularly for cross-border payments. The digital economy should work for all Americans. That means developing financial services that are secure, reliable, affordable, and accessible to all. To make payments more efficient, the Fed Reserve has planned 2023 launch of FedNow, instant payments 24/7 interbank clearing system that future advances nationwide infrastructure instant payments alongside the clearinghouse real-time payments. You need a shock to the system. The shock to the system is a normal everyday person not being able to survive when the middle class gets wiped out, leveraged towards technology, as Jerome Powell says. You need a shock to the system. Pandemic, we all look this way. They shut down the system. People are not even recovering from that. They say the job markets are doing well. Of course, you shut down the whole economy. When you open up, people come back to their jobs. So what DeSantis is saying, listen, guys, we are going to take the bill. And unless you wake up and you start learning how to invest and you understand that this is the greatest transformation of wealth in history, and if you don't understand how this works, guess what? It's not going to be you that's transferring. It's going to be them getting richer and the middle class working down to the working poor, and a massive disparity between the rich and poor. I mean, it's not by chance that Biden is working with China. It's not by, I mean, don't believe this hype with the war thing, guys. This is all a narrative that's happening right now, okay? Governor DeSantis announces legislation protect Floridians from federal controlled central bank digital currencies. And then Texas is going at it. Texas lawmakers propose a gold-backed state digital currency. This came out on April 9th, 2023. And here's the actual document. Section 404A, establishment, the controller shall establish a digital currency that is backed by gold so that each unit of a digital currency is issued represents a particular fraction of a troy ounce of gold held in a trust as provided by this chapter. If you scroll down to the bottom, this act takes effect on September 1st, 2023. My apologies, I did not switch over. There we go. Let me read this back to you guys. So this is what I was reading right here, okay? So this is a bill, it's entitled An Act by Hughes, okay? This is the actual thing I was reading right here, okay? The gold-backed currency. Digital currency. This act takes effect right here. You'll see it right here, September 1st, 2023. Okay. If we keep moving along this here, okay, this is all the different acts. You can dive into all this stuff yourself, fam. It's here. Like this is it. This is it. You're watching a dog and pony show, man. You're not going to hardly hear anything about the subpoena. I guarantee you, just like the Epstein thing, you're not going to hear hardly anything about it. You're going to see a ton of stuff about Trump in the news. I'm not saying for, against. I don't play this dog and pony show, man. I'm not getting in the clown car in the circus. I'm not, guys. The left and right was created to make us fight. My president and CEO is God. Whatever vehicle you use to get to God, I appreciate you and I love you. I'm not here to change a belief system. I'm not here to tell you how to believe. I'm not here to protest or go against anybody. But what I am against is people telling me how to raise my family. What I am against is telling people how to build wealth for my family and build safety and security. So we built safety and security for many people and teaching them how to get their shit together in the craziest economic times in the world. And it's not about getting rich quick, warriors. That is the biggest scam you've ever been sold. It's about discipline and consistency and getting in the right frequency and understanding how your mind works and how the ecosystem works. So my 120-day challenge has helped over 6,000 people worldwide and growing by close to 20 people per day. 7 days for free in 2023 in the description down below. It will change your life if you go through the full 120-day challenge. When you go right into 120-day challenge, put your blinders on. Our academy has so much. We underpromise and over-deliver. So when you get in, go right in my 120 challenge. On Friday of the 120 challenge, you will do a budget. Dive into the budget, start cleaning up your finances, get your shit together, get disciplined in the greatest time in human history. After this video, click the description down below for more information. Warriors, get your shit together. Let's go.
Is designed to keep you trapped. 2017, I walked out of a high-paid vice president job because I was absolutely miserable. Working 16 to 19 hours a day because that's what the system taught me to do. And what I discovered through countless hours of meditation, research, reading books, understanding how the millionaires and billionaires operate, The system is designed to keep you trapped. Today, I own multiple companies. I travel all over the world. I'm financially free, and that's exactly why I created this community of like-minded warriors coming together called the 3T Warrior Academy. Now, I don't say this to brag. I'm sharing this with you to show you what's possible for you. Whether you're just starting out or you're looking to take your life to another level, we believe the Warrior Academy has something for everybody. Processes that take you step by step through discipline, consistent activities, and that's exactly what you're going to get. Our 120-day challenge, all you have to do is open up the app and take it day by day. We're going to take you through the discipline, consistent activities to take your life to the next level. Within 1 week, you're going to feel a difference. Within a month, people are going to notice a change in you. That's how powerful this 120-day challenge is. So if you're truly ready to break free from the old paradigm into a new paradigm of discipline, consistency, great relationship with your family, financial freedom, and learning the pillars of wealth that'll change your life and generational wealth to come, I'm going to invite you to do our program for 7 days for free. The 120-day challenge has changed over 5,000 warriors' lives worldwide, and we hope to be yours next.
Warriors, let's get your together. Let's go.